When China showed off its so-called sixth-generation fighter jet, the headline screamed, "America's air dominance is over." Commentators panicked. Analysts said the US was years behind. But while the world was busy writing eulogies for American air power, something else was happening behind closed doors. Something the Pentagon wasn't denying, but wasn't exactly confirming either. And when President Donald Trump stepped back into the spotlight and announced the F-47, he didn't just reveal a new aircraft, he confirmed what insiders already suspected. The United States had been flying a next-generation monster in secret for years. The story of the F-47 doesn't begin in 2025 with a flashy announcement. It traces back deep into the US black projects, the shadow world where billion-dollar programs exist without names, and prototypes fly years before the public even knows they exist. The program that birthed the F-47 started under DARPA's Next Generation Air Dominance Initiative, a multi-branch collaboration between the Air Force, Boeing, and a handful of defense contractors that nobody ever officially acknowledges. Between 2019 and 2023, there were whispers, small, unconfirmed reports of experimental aircraft being tested over restricted airspace in California and Nevada. Locals near Groom Lake, better known as Area 51, described sonic booms that didn't match any known fighter jet signature. Satellite footage captured heat blooms in the desert, narrow, linear, consistent with an aircraft running adaptive cycle engines. That's not F-35 tech, that's next gen. Behind the scenes, these aircraft weren't just random test beds, they were the X-planes, part of a classified lineage dating back to the early 2000s. Each one tested a different piece of the future F-47 puzzle: stealth coatings, morphing wings, next-gen sensors, and AI flight systems that could think faster than human pilots. By 2021, insiders claimed one of these demonstrators, internally codenamed Project Liberty, had already logged hundreds of test hours. Some say it was flying autonomously in formation with AI-controlled drones. In military briefings, this tech was referred to as CCA, or Collaborative Combat Aircraft, drones that could fight, scout, or sacrifice themselves on command. But here's the part no one talks about publicly. These test aircraft weren't just proof of concept. They were part of a seamless pipeline, the transition from prototype to operational reality. The F-47 isn't built for the dogfights of the past. It's built for the wars of the future, wars where data moves faster than bullets, and victory is decided long before anyone fires a missile. This aircraft isn't just a fighter, it's a networked war machine. Imagine one pilot sitting inside a stealth jet, but instead of controlling a single aircraft, he's commanding an entire digital squadron. That's what the F-47 does. It acts as a battlefield conductor, orchestrating a swarm of unmanned wingmen, each with their own intelligence, sensors, and firepower. While other nations focus on building faster, more maneuverable jets, the F-47's strength lies in coordination. It fuses data from satellites, drones, AWACS planes, and even submarines, creating a complete 360-degree picture of the battle space. From the cockpit, the pilot doesn't just see, he knows. Targets appear, threats are analyzed, and AI systems prioritize which drone attacks, which one defends, and which one sacrifices itself for the mission. And here's the wild part. All this happens faster than a human could blink. No delay, no confusion, just instant decision-making, powered by onboard neural processors and quantum-encrypted communication links. The design itself reflects this philosophy. The F-47's fuselage is sleek, curved, and unbroken, an evolution beyond the F-22's sharp edges. It's coated in adaptive material, capable of altering its radar signature mid-flight, effectively shifting its skin to blend with background interference. Its engines? Rumor says they're a new class of adaptive cycle turbines developed from General Electric's XA100 project, capable of switching airflow modes for speed, endurance, or stealth. These engines generate so much power that the F-47 can supercruise effortlessly and run directed energy weapons without sacrificing range. Even its control systems are semi-organic, using AI to predict pilot movements, stabilize extreme maneuvers, and manage power distribution across the entire system. It's like flying with an invisible co-pilot who never gets tired, never panics, and never hesitates. That's the key difference. Other nations are still trying to build a better pilot's jet. The US built the perfect battlefield conductor, and if the rumors are true that the F-47 can control up to 5 autonomous CCAs at once, then it's not just a fighter anymore. It's a flying command center that can dominate an entire war zone from a single cockpit. The F-47 doesn't enter a fight. It creates one on its own terms. Every generation of fighter aircraft has had its defining edge. For the F-22, it was stealth. For the F-35, it was sensors and data fusion. But the F-47, that's stealth plus, a level of invisibility so advanced it's redefining how detection even works. Traditional stealth works by reflecting radar waves away. The F-22 did that beautifully. But the F-47 takes it to the next level. It doesn't just avoid radar, it absorbs and redirects it. Its skin is made of metamaterial composites, the kind developed in top-secret labs under Lockheed Martin and Boeing contracts. These materials bend electromagnetic waves around the aircraft, making radar think there's nothing there at all. And that's just the first layer. Underneath lies a new thermal displacement mesh, a system that channels engine heat into nonlinear vents spread across the fuselage. That means no more hot jet signatures lighting up infrared scanners. To thermal sensors, the F-47 looks like cold air. And then there's Stealth++, the name insiders use for the aircraft's adaptive camouflage. This is where things get wild. It's rumored that the surface of the F-47 can actively change its electromagnetic frequency response, meaning it can disguise its radar return to look like another aircraft altogether. You could have an F-47 appearing as a commercial airliner or even a bird formation, depending on what signature the onboard AI decides to mimic. And while all that's happening, the engines underneath, rumored to be the GEXA 200 Adaptive Cycle Series, deliver unmatched power efficiency. These engines don't just push the plane past Mach 2 effortlessly, they generate excess electrical power, feeding a network of onboard energy weapons, electromagnetic jammers, and AI processors simultaneously. That's why Air Force insiders refer to the F-47 as a self-contained power plant. It can fight, jam, and command, all without external support. And here's the kicker. It can supercruise, meaning that it can fly supersonic without afterburners for over an hour straight. That's more than twice the sustained supercruise capability of the F-22. Speed, power, stealth, all fused into one machine that doesn't just hide from radar, it outsmarts it. For decades, the United States had one major problem: range. The Pacific theater is vast. From Guam to the Chinese coastline is over 1,800 miles. Even America's best jets struggled to cover that distance without tankers or forward bases. But with the F-47, that problem is gone. Reports from defense insiders claim the jet's combat radius exceeds 1,000 nautical miles, more than double that of the F-35. That means it can launch from safer bases far inland, strike deep into enemy territory, and return, all without refueling. How? It's all about efficiency and endurance. The adaptive engines don't just change airflow, they literally reprogram themselves mid-flight for different mission profiles. Need long-range stealth infiltration? The F-47 runs cool, silent, and slow burn. Need to get out fast? It shifts into combat mode, full thrust, supercruise engaged. Then there's the internal fuel optimization system, a rumored innovation derived from the B-21 Raider's liquid transfer architecture. It constantly shifts fuel between compartments to balance weight and maximize range. And remember those autonomous CCAs, the drone wingmen? They extend that range even further. Some can act as mid-air relays, extending radar and communication reach far beyond the pilot's line of sight. Others serve as flying magazines, carrying additional munitions the F-47 can deploy remotely. In other words, one F-47 can reach across half the Pacific, and if it brings its drones, it controls the other half too. This changes everything for US strategy in the Indo-Pacific. No more dependence on vulnerable island airbases. No more slow-moving carriers within missile range. The F-47 gives the United States the freedom to strike anywhere, anytime, from continental bases, with total stealth and zero warning. It's not just a jet, it's a geopolitical equalizer. Here's where the F-47 steps out of science fiction and into pure dominance. You've heard of AMR, AAMs, Sidewinders, and JDAMs, the bread and butter of modern aerial warfare. But the F-47 doesn't rely on yesterday's weapons. It brings an entirely new class of armament. Its internal bays, hidden deep within the stealth frame, are modular. That means they can house hypersonic missiles, advanced smart bombs, or directed energy systems, depending on the mission. Let's start with the rumors. Leaked contractor documents reference a weapon known as the Lance Beam. Officially, it's an acronym for Laser Advanced Non-Kinetic Combat Emitter. Unofficially, it's a real-life laser cannon. Mounted inside the F-47's underbelly, this system can target incoming missiles or drones and literally burn through their guidance systems mid-air, at the speed of light. Then there's the Adaptive Targeting Pod, an AI-driven module capable of coordinating swarm attacks with its CCAs. Instead of firing one missile at one target, the F-47 can command its drones to execute multi-vector strikes, simultaneous attacks from multiple angles. And while all this is happening, the aircraft's electronic warfare suite goes to work, scrambling enemy radars, spoofing sensors, and creating false targets so realistic that adversaries waste precious missiles on ghosts. Even its conventional missiles aren't what you think. The new AIM-X hypersonic interceptor, still classified but whispered about by test pilots, reportedly exceeds Mach 7. That's 7 times the speed of sound, enough to outrun, outclimb, and outsmart any defense system currently in existence. Combine that with a laser defense grid and swarm-capable drones, and what you get is the first fighter jet that can fight multiple wars at once, air, electronic, and digital, all without losing stealth or speed. If you really want to understand the F-47, you need to forget everything you know about stealth. Because stealth is just silence. This jet is more than silent. It's surgical. Electronic warfare is the invisible battlefield of modern combat. Long before the first missile is fired, the fight begins in the electromagnetic spectrum, radar bands, data links, GPS feeds, satellite pings. Whoever controls those frequencies controls the war. The F-47 doesn't just jam those signals, it owns them. Deep within its belly sits an array of active cognitive jammers, processors capable of reading, interpreting, and rewriting enemy signals in real time. Think of it as a weaponized hacker, flying at Mach 2. When an adversary radar locks on, the F-47 instantly analyzes the pulse pattern, fabricates a mirror image, and sends back a false echo, showing the target a phantom 30 miles away. While the enemy wastes missiles on empty sky, the real jet is already behind them, unseen, undetected. That's the power of the Ghost Grid EW system, a rumored suite developed jointly by Boeing Phantom Works and Northrop's Electronic Division. It merges AI with full spectrum awareness, not only blinding enemy radar, but also mapping their entire digital footprint. And it doesn't stop there. The F-47's data link intelligence node can infiltrate hostile communication frequencies. During simulated war games, insiders say the system tricked opposing forces into broadcasting their own encrypted commands to the wrong units, essentially forcing enemy drones to attack phantom coordinates. That's next-level deception, the kind that turns your enemy's own network into a weapon against itself. Combine that with its collaborative combat aircraft, drones that act as decoys, emitters, and even signal repeaters, and you get an entire ecosystem of chaos. One drone spoofs radar returns, another mimics heat signatures, and a third silently relays the data back to the F-47. The result? An entire enemy formation, firing blind into the void while the real kill shot lines up from above. It's not just electronic warfare, it's electronic dominance, and right now, no other air force on Earth can match it. Every country can build a prototype, but turning a prototype into a fleet, that's where empires are made. The F-47's edge isn't just technology, it's industrial warfare, America's ability to mass-produce innovation faster than anyone else. When the Air Force picked Boeing to lead the next-generation air dominance program, it wasn't just a contract, it was a declaration. The United States was taking its most secretive fighter concept and preparing it for full-scale production. This is what separates America from its rivals. While other nations might roll out 1 or 2 prototypes for the cameras, the US builds an entire ecosystem: pilots, maintenance crews, simulators, digital twins, spare parts, AI training datasets, and real-world testing ranges. Insiders say Boeing's Ghostworks digital manufacturing plant can produce airframes at record speed using automated carbon titanium layups and AI-assisted inspection systems. Every inch of the F-47's body is designed, scanned, and stress-tested in simulation before it even reaches the assembly line. This digital pipeline means the jet isn't static, it's evolutionary. If new threat data comes in, Boeing can reprint components or rewrite software in weeks. That's unheard of in military aviation. Lockheed did it with the F-35, but Boeing's system takes it further. Each aircraft is networked back to the factory via secure telemetry, meaning in theory, engineers can track performance data, live and push micro updates, the same way your smartphone gets a firmware patch. That kind of agility means the F-47 will never go obsolete. It evolves in flight. And it's not just about the US either. Allied nations are already positioning for integration. Britain, Japan, and Australia have joint research channels linked to the NGAD framework. That means when the F-47 enters mass production, it won't just be an American aircraft, it'll be part of a global deterrence network. Rivals can build a jet. America built a system that builds jets. Now let's talk about the timeline, because that's where the real clues hide. The first whispers of a 6th-generation demonstrator appeared in 2020. A single Air Force official casually mentioned that a full-scale prototype had already flown. The press thought it was a bluff. It wasn't. Behind the scenes, the prototype rumored under the code name Raptor X had been flying out of Edwards Air Force Base, logging classified missions under experimental call signs. It carried test engines, experimental sensors, and AI co-pilot systems that would later evolve into what we now know as the F-47. By 2022, test pilots were referring to it as the Whisper Jet. Not because it was quiet, because nobody was supposed to talk about it. Then came 2025. President Trump publicly confirmed the F-47 program, naming Boeing as the official manufacturer. That announcement wasn't a start, it was a reveal. The aircraft had already completed multiple flight evaluations, with production tooling underway before the public ever heard the name. Analysts estimate the first pre-production batch will roll out by the late 2020s, with operational deployment in the early 2030s. But according to a few too confident insiders, the kind who've already retired from Edwards AFB, the first combat-ready F-47 has already flown. You won't find photos and you won't find tail numbers, but something's been flying over the Pacific at altitudes and speeds no F-35 can touch. And that's not science fiction, that's geopolitics in motion. The US isn't preparing to dominate. It's already testing domination. But the question everyone is asking is, will the F-47 really crush every 6th-generation fighter jet? If you're comparing wings, speed, or thrust, maybe not. But air dominance has never been about one metric. It's about control of the air, of the data, of the decision-making speed that wins or loses wars before they even begin. That's what the F-47 represents. It's not a fighter, it's a command organism, part human, part machine, all intelligence. It can fly farther than its rivals, think faster than its pilots, and adapt quicker than any threat thrown at it. Its Stealth++ skin makes it invisible. Its EW brain makes it untouchable. and its drone wingmen make it unstoppable. While other nations build planes to fight the US built a plane to fight entire networks. And here's the quiet truth. Even if someone manages to match the F-47's speed or stealth, they won't be able to match its ecosystem, the digital infrastructure, the AI backbone, the industrial momentum that feeds it. That's the real weapon. Because while others race to build planes, the United States built a process, a system of continuous improvement that ensures whatever's flying today is just the foundation for what's coming next. The F-47 isn't just a jet, it's a preview of the future of warfare. A sky where human pilots don't duel in the clouds, they conduct entire battles from within an intelligent machine. And somewhere above 70,000 feet, that future has already taken flight. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you're not left out anytime we post amazing videos.